greatest threat to children's microbes comes when the few bacteria they do have come under attack. As with any ecosystem, diversity is the key to a healthy gut flora. Yet one of the greatest advances in modern medicine is destroying that diversity, often with devastating consequences.
Well, antibiotics are designed to target infectious or harmful bacteria, which we've grown here on this laboratory petri dish. And we put this particular antibiotic into the center, and you've see a zone of clearance of the pathogen, the infectious agent. And that's good. That's a major advance that helps an awful lot of patients. The problem with this is the antibiotic is damaging the surrounding ecosystem. It's killing the beneficial, harmless bacteria that we all have in our body.
The diversity of our microbes is decimated following a course of antibiotics, not only leaving us vulnerable to attack by other infections, but threatening our long-term microbial health too.
The microbiome is required to educate and help the immune system mature. So anything that threatens the microbiome tends to create a risk of some sort of abnormality of the immune system. And it has been shown several times now that the greater the number of antibiotic courses that one has, and particularly the earlier in life, particularly in infancy, in the first year of life, the greater then the risk of allergies.
One study found that giving babies under the age of 1 antibiotics increases their risk of developing eczema by 40%, with every extra course increasing that risk by a further 7%.
Are you watching them, Jensen?
Of course, we mustn't abandon antibiotics altogether, but if we are to preserve our microbial diversity, doctors must be mindful not to prescribe unnecessary courses of them. Hope for helping those with allergies in the future may lie in actually replacing your gut bacteria with someone else's. This is exactly what doctors are doing to treat the aggressive gut infection Clostridium difficile, and they're doing it with human feces.
Well, the sample is weighed first and then gently homogenized. And this is then sieved, for a better word, double sieved.
The feces is processed in an anaerobic or oxygen-free chamber to mimic the inside of the gut.
And after it's sieved, the volume is then topped up to maximum so as to leave no air spaces in the bottle.
This healthy donor feces is then transplanted into the patient, replenishing their bacteria and curing up to 90% of infections. It's early days, and there's been no research into this technique for allergies yet, but it may lead to a treatment in the future.
So germs are everywhere in our home, but there are places where we're more likely to find them.
Professor Sally Bloomfield is trying to educate people how best to safely re-engage with the right microbes.
So what I'm going to do is to prepare fried chicken and a salad to go with it. When you take a chicken, we know that probably up to 60–70% of the chickens are contaminated with either Salmonella or Campylobacter.
This gel mimics those germs.
So there it is. I'm going to chop it up on my chopping board into my saucepan. Right, so what I want to do now is I want to prepare the salad.
We may not be aware of it, But as we go about our daily lives, our hands come into contact with all manner of surfaces. Something that becomes evident when Sally turns off the lights.
The gel, which was invisible when we put it on the chicken, now we can see it glows under ultraviolet light. We can see exactly where the germs have gone. We have a look at the chopping board. You can see that even though we tried to clean it by wiping it with a cloth, there's still lots of germs on the surface and on the knife. Both of my hands are heavily contaminated with the germs. I wiped my hands on my pinafore, and you can see I put it on my face. I've even got germs on my face. And of course the result of all of that is that you can now see there's plenty of the germs have gone into the salad, and remember that's going to be eaten raw.
As Sally's demonstration shows, if we're not careful, we can very easily re-engage with the wrong type of bacteria.
So good hygiene is about recognising that there are certain superhighways by which germs are spread and by which we come
The challenge is to find a healthy balance.
Pedal!
One where we nurture our good bacteria whilst protecting ourselves from harmful microorganisms that cause disease.
Cover your brakes.
So it's not about whether we're clean, it's about the fact that we become afraid of getting dirty, of going out and engaging with our microbes.